It's kind of cool it does that automatically. Goes right to me. Lighting's not bad. We'll take it. Hurricane Erin making a awfully close approach to eastern North Carolina. A week ago, it looked like this could be the first hurricane landfall of 2025. It's not going to be that. Thankfully, it is not going to be that. We're still bringing you live coverage of Hurricane Erin on its close approach. We'll show you some of the live cameras right now. You've seen some of them kind of looping in the background as we've been loading up the stream here. And there they are. These are not live feeds. They refresh. The NCDOT, I guess, doesn't pay for enough bandwidth. No, just kidding. These refresh about every 2 minutes, but still some inundation there in Buxton. They're right on the far inlet off of Highway 12 on the Outer Banks. Look how high the water is there on the south dock of the Hatteras Inlet as well. And maybe some folks on the Avalon Pier. They're enjoying their evening. I kind of wish I was out there enjoying some fun, but maybe not the safest thing to do. Let's let this camera move around and kind of get a better idea of how high these waves are. The National Hurricane Center is forecasting up to 4 feet of storm surge along the Outer Banks. I'll show you the storm surge peak graphic here from the Hurricane Center, 2 to 4 feet. Yeah, so there are the waves. They're not really close to the boardwalk. You can see the underside of the boardwalk, several feet of clearance between the folks wandering out into the Atlantic and the water in the Atlantic Ocean. We'll have it pan to the, I think this might be to the north. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not in charge of this camera. But this water is further up than what it was earlier, at least about 30 yards closer to the I can't talk, closer to the beach. But so far, so good. No crazy impacts just yet. Let's show you where we see the peak storm surge right now. This is the area, 2 to 4 feet of surge expected from Duck Key down to Cape Lookout. I thought this forecast might go up. It hasn't. That is good news. Thought we might see 3 to 5 feet, but again, that has not happened. Let's go live on the TikTok as well. We'll bring a TikTok audience in here, along with the. This is not outdoors. Whatever. It doesn't matter. All right, we're live on the TikTok as well. Let's show you the satellite loop for Hurricane Erin right now. There's the eye. The eye is actually fallen apart. It peaked back out earlier today, and now it's fallen apart in the past couple of hours. The storm likely in the process of weakening, even though it did re-intensify to a major hurricane yesterday, late yesterday. I think it's still a major hurricane according to the Hurricane Center. Let's double check here. Winds of 110. It actually is just under major hurricane strength. 110 miles per hour is the max wind speed according to the Hurricane Center. Here is where you can see some of the outer rain bands trying to get close to the Outer Banks. A few of them have made it inland towards Greenville, towards the coastal bend, or not the coastal bend, towards the coastal plain. Let's turn on a different satellite view here. But a lot of these have not been able to get east anywhere close to I-95, and they probably won't. I'm in Raleigh. Raleigh's not going to see any rain out of this. Maybe some breezy conditions tonight into tomorrow, up to 30-mile-per-hour gusts. But it's kind of fun just to watch the folks along the pier. If you're on TikTok, you're not seeing the pier. You're seeing 4 different cameras. Some inundation there still on the TikTok in Buxton, Hatteras Village, and then along the inlet, along the Hatteras Inlet. But on YouTube, you're seeing tons of folks on the Avalon Pier there in Kill Devil Hills, north of Cape Hatteras. That's a big crowd. I don't know what this camera normally looks like, but that is a big crowd, at least for an approaching hurricane. So Luckily, it's not an approaching, it's a passing by hurricane. Let's put it that way. On the TikTok, you're seeing stills of cameras. These are run by the DOT, the NC DOT. These update every, I think it's 30 seconds. It might be 60 seconds. I'm not sure. Within a minute, you can still see some inundation there in the Buxton camera. I'm going to pull back up the quad box on our YouTube channel as well. You can see the inundation, a pretty significant amount of inundation there in the top left corner of the screen in Buxton. Some sand. I know I saw lots of videos yesterday of folks along the Outer Banks putting sand up to try to fend off the oops, that's the wrong one on the YouTube. There we go. Trying to fend off some of the inundation, some of the storm surge along the Outer Banks. But there's one band about to push in to Hatteras right now. It's 83 there. It's not too bad. The latest weather report there is sunny. Here's the sunny weather report there in Cape Hatteras. Let's go to this one. Yeah, the Pimlico Sound, Hatteras Island right here. That band getting close. We'll see if it can stick its way together all the way across the Sound towards Belhaven, towards Newbern as well. But luckily, again, Hurricane Erin, this is the eye of Erin staying offshore. There's the North Carolina coast in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, and it's peeling away. The latest cone from the Hurricane Center does take it away from land, shooting the gap perfectly between the east coast of the U.S. and Bermuda. There is a tropical storm warning in effect from, I think that's Cape Lookout, all the way up into southern Maryland. So tropical storm force winds expected along the eastern seaboard, along the Outer Banks, up into Virginia Beach, up into Norfolk, into far southeastern Virginia, and then eventually up into Maryland as well. But again, a week ago, it looked like this hurricane could be the first landfall of the season, potentially approach North Carolina or either of the Carolinas as a landfalling hurricane. But luckily, there's a dip in the trough along eastern Canada that's going to suck Erin out to sea, and it's going to be no cause for concern. The Hurricane Center is watching two other areas in the Atlantic. This one looked like it could cause problems, but because of how slow Erin has been moving off to the north, it started to pick up speed a little bit in the past day or so, but because it's moving so slowly, only at 14 miles per hour, yesterday and the day before on Monday it was moving at 5, 6, 7 miles an hour. So because of its slow speed, it's going to end up sucking this system out to sea as well with it. Could bring some rough surf, some rough conditions to Bermuda, but the United States is going to stay hurricane-free, at least for the time being. And that long-term trend looks to hold. This system is not going to develop into anything too crazy. Even if it does, it'll be a short-lived system across the main development region of the tropical Atlantic. So far, we had Chantal. That's been the only main system to impact the United States this year in 2025. I think we had a new follow, Kate Stir, with a follow on TikTok. Thank you, Kate Stir. I don't expect to get many views out of this today. This is kind of just a setup test stream in our new studio setup here. The radar, our flash radar, is not going to be able to pick up the eye of the hurricane. The eye is down here where we got some lightning strikes in parts of the outer eye wall. So the system is still pretty strong. Still a high-end Category 2 hurricane as it gains latitude heading northward and eventually northeastward. But the eye of the hurricane is just in between where those lightning strikes are and where that rain is right now. So there we go. Let's see here. Okay, good. Let's go back to this camera. I want to watch some of the folks out on the pier and watch some of the inundation as well in up and down the Outer Banks. When will it be hitting Bermuda? It's not going to hit Bermuda. It's going to shoot the gap between Bermuda and the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So Bermuda might see some tropical storm force winds, maybe winds up to 30, 40 miles per hour tonight into tomorrow. But that's really the only impact expected in Bermuda. And the only impact really expected in the U.S., other than rip currents will be bad up and down the eastern seaboard. I might pull up the rip current map here. because that is probably the main threat out of this whole system is the rip current issue. The National Weather Service advising folks not to get, I think the Hurricane Center said, outer bands of large Erin nearing the coast of the Outer Banks. Beachgoers are cautioned against swimming at most U.S. East Coast beaches due to life-threatening surf and rip currents. No, it is not going to hit Arkansas, Kaylee. It is well east of Arkansas. It is in the Atlantic Ocean. It is right here. There it is. And it's heading northeastward out to sea, not towards Arkansas. It is not going here. It is going that way to the northeast, hopefully. They clear some things up on the TikTok side. No, you're good. It's hurricane season. This time last year was pretty quiet too. We had Beryl in July. We had Helene, of course. That was in late September. Helene in late September, and Milton was in October. So this time of the year last year was also a pretty monotonous time of the year, late August into mid-September, not a whole lot going on. But then we got Helene the last week of September. We know what that did to South Carolina, to North Carolina. We don't want to do that again, especially in western North Carolina. Tyler, is it coming to South Carolina? No, I mean, it's due west of you right now. There is no rain in South Carolina right now at all, and it's moving off to the northeast. The rain bands aren't even going to reach the coast. Could be a little breezy there in coastal South Carolina, but no cause for concern in South Carolina, so that's good. I always try to decide. I never can decide which map feature I like better here. Kaylee, thank you for the follow on the TikTok. I don't know if the black background is better. We've got a couple of flash flood warnings here across Mississippi, or Alabama, I should say, into western North Carolina. But we're kind of entering a time of the year when severe weather really takes a major backseat to hurricane, to tropical weather. And we had Chantal in early to middle July, and since then we haven't had a whole lot going on. So that's good. We'll put up a carousel of cameras here on the YouTube and then the quad box there on TikTok, watching some of the inundation across North Carolina. Some of these cameras have been slow to update today, or at least. I think it's just the DOT, because we're fetching new images here in-house every 5 seconds, so, or sometimes even every 2 seconds, depending on the server. But the DOT, the NCDOT, they operate on their own wavelength. There's a tractor out in Buxton. I think there's actually a new look at there's a new live update at the Buxton camera. And they've got the tractor out trying to push more sand in. The DOT advising folks to stay off the roads. And because of the inundation, at least 2 to 4 feet. This is not that bad of a storm at all. You know, if you followed me on TikTok, we've been watching this the past really week to 10 days. For a while, it did look like there could be another one behind Erin, and it actually looked like Erin could be the one that would hit North Carolina. It's not. It's going to head east. Jen asking any info on the storms that are forming. Yeah, we'll talk about that right now. So 2 different areas the Hurricane Center is watching right now. One to the east of the Leeward Islands. It looked like for a bit that this could be one to watch if it kept heading west towards the Caribbean, towards the southwest Atlantic, maybe towards the Gulf. But this is actually going to turn to sea. Erin has taken so long to move off to the north that this one, what would be Fernan, that's the next name on the list. I don't know why they picked Fernan. Well, it's Fernand is like the spelling, Fernand. And then they pronounce it Fernan. Anyways, I digress. This is not an issue to land. It's going to recurve out to sea, even if it does form into something. And this area could quickly form. Not too worried about it. What do they say? By the end of the week, environmental conditions expected to become unfavorable for further development. So that's good. Both of these could form really quickly, but they're not going to be long-term threats to the U.S. or really to any land, let alone the U.S. Jen, you got it. Yeah. Got several of us on the YouTube. What do we got? 10, 15 on the TikTok. We're tracking Hurricane Erin, there she is right there. The eye was really apparent earlier today. It has kind of filled in. Yeah, good is right, Franklin. We don't want this storm to threaten land at all. The eye was pretty easily seen earlier on today, really at the beginning of this. Let me pause this and go back. You could see the Jen and Kelly with the follows. Thank you both. You can see the eye really poking out. This is at 1957, so that's at 3 p.m., almost 4 p.m. Eastern time. Franklin, appreciate the follow as well. But then the eye has pretty much filled in the past couple of hours, which means the storm is starting to weaken as it gains latitude, as it heads to the north, out of warmer waters, although the water is still pretty warm here off the coast of North Carolina. It's still a Category 2 hurricane, winds of 110 miles per hour, according to the Hurricane Center. If you're on the TikTok, you can't see it, but I promise it's right there. In our flashcast radar, you can't really see it because the eye, I'll draw where the eye is right now. The eye is right here, and the outer eye wall is right here. That's where all the lightning is. All this lightning is the northeastern eye wall, which is the strongest part of the storm right now, and this is a couple hundred miles away from the coast. So the worst of the impacts of Erin staying well offshore, but still we are seeing some inundation, some sand moving across the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks sees this a lot with any sort of system that passes close to it. Let me pull up something else on the YouTube. You can see it on the Buxton camera on the upper left right now. Looks like some inundation on the Hatteras Inlet camera in the South Dock camera there, but we'll see. As this system heads further to the north, there will be a stronger onshore flow from east to west that could bring more water in towards the Outer Banks over the next couple of hours. But once Erin gets north of North Carolina, then it's going to start pulling water out to sea, and then it's going to be less of a problem for everybody up and down the coast. But still, the Hurricane Center, the National Weather Service advising folks to stay off the beaches, no swimming in the beaches, rip currents. What are they saying here? Beachgoers are cautioned against swimming at most U.S. East Coast beaches due to life-threatening surf and rip currents. So there you go. That's the major impact here up and down the coast. Franklin, thank you for the kind words. We're just trying to put a pin in Erin, if you will. I've been tracking Erin for the past really 10 days now. And ever since the wave left the coast of Africa and moved across the Atlantic from 20 west longitude to 40 to 60, and now all the way almost to 75 west longitude. So it's been a bit of a marathon with Erin, as it always is with these tropical systems. But the good news is some of the bands earlier, a couple hours ago, started to push towards Jacksonville, North Carolina, towards New Bern, North Carolina. And now those bands have fallen apart. We'll watch that area just east of the Outer Banks. Maybe this batch can push inland. We'll see. I don't know. We can see that one band tried right here. And then as it pushed towards the coast, it just fell apart. It looks like it's trying to redevelop right here. We'll see if this can head west. We could see 40, 50 mile per hour gusts in those bands. As well. Ivy asking there on the TikTok, what about Hurricane Fernand? Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit earlier. This is the area we're watching for potential development for, the pronunciation's crazy. It's Fernand. I'm gonna Google it because this is so crazy. 2025 Hurricane Pronunciation Guide. Here's your PD. This is straight from the Hurricane Center right here. Fernand. That'll make the rules. Anyways, if it develops, it's going to head to sea. Not an issue. It looked like it could head west towards the Caribbean, towards the U.S. It's not. If it does develop, it's going to maybe head towards Bermuda. Bermuda's got to watch this one just in case if it does develop, but there's no threat to the U.S. If we get Hurricane Karen this year, the internet is going to have a field day. Let's put it that way. The internet is going to have a field day if we get Hurricane Karen this year. That's for sure. So hopefully we don't even make it to that far on the list. We've gotten to Chantal, we've gotten to Dexter, we've gotten to Erin. So we're 5 names in. Faranon is next. Gabrielle after that. Umberto, not Humberto. Umberto after that. Imelda. Jerry's an easy one. Jerry might be the easiest one of all. And then Karen. Oh, Karen. Yeah, I might just take the internet off. I might take some time off from the internet after, if we get Hurricane Karen. So hopefully we don't make it to that point. Let's go back to the Avalon pier camera. The sun's setting in the Outer Banks. We got a fisherman there. If you're on the TikTok, you have to come over to the YouTube to see this. We've got a fisherman there. That's funny. I'll put the other 4 cameras here on the TikTok. You can see some good inundation on the Buxton camera and on the South Dock Hatteras Inlet camera. Meanwhile, on the Avalon pier camera in Kill Devil Hills, we've got a couple fishermen out there, maybe trying to see if we have some fish to catch. Oh, that's funny. Karen knows it'll be a bad one, says Gordon on the TikTok. Yeah. You know, you're probably right. Karen will probably be the bad one. Ooh, look at that wave crashing on the Avalon Pier. Wow. So the waves are picking up. The windsock is going. Nothing too crazy, though, until Hurricane Karen, like Gordon said. I swear, if Hurricane Karen's the big one this year, I have no words for that. No words. No words at all. I'm showing you the satellite loop of Hurricane Karen there on the TikTok. You can see the eye heading northeast. This is good news, obviously. If it went this way, that would be bad, because North Carolina is right there. Wilmington is literally here. Well, you can't see it on the TikTok. The edge of the Outer Banks down here. Cape Hatteras is up there. So if this system was going like this instead of like this, we'd have problems. But we don't have problems. It's heading off to the northeast away from land. We got some folks there on the YouTube. They're recording something? Or they're sitting at the bar stools? I kind of wish I was out there. If we did a remote live stream from the Outer Banks or from wherever, because this is a storm. I've storm chased before. You could easily chase this storm. I know they mandatory evacuations along Hatteras, but south of Hatteras, no problems. Or even up towards Corolla, towards Kill Devil Hills, towards Kitty Hawk. It's dry up there, but because this is pushing east to west, I'm going to go back to this. Because these bands are pushing from east to west, it's throwing water towards the Outer Banks, towards the Sound, and that's why we're expecting 2 to 4 feet of storm surge. Because the hurricane is still a couple hundred miles to the southeast, but it's still pushing the water from east to west into the coast and could create it's probably going to be the bottom end of that. 2 feet of storm surge is probably what we're going to end up with. H and F named storms got a thing for Fran and Floyd, Florence. Those are the 3 big ones, the F ones, that's for sure. What are the big H storms? I'm trying to remember. Dennis was in 90, was the same year as Floyd. That was 99. You're going to say an H storm, and I'm going to forget it. Well, I forget it right now, but 1 mile inland from the Chesapeake Bay in Norfolk. Are you good? Yeah, you're good, Paul. No major. You might get a foot or 2 of storm surge. Oh, Hugo. Yeah, obviously Hugo. That was in the early 90s, and then Hazel was back in the 50s. I think Hazel was in the 50s, like 54. I might be making that year up. 1 mile inland, you're good, Paul. You might see a few showers tonight, tomorrow, but that's about it. If we zoom the flash radar out here, we've got storms across the southeast, Alabama, Mississippi, a few different severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll turn our flash storm severity product on here. Anything crazy in terms of severe weather? This is our AI-driven severity product. We're looking for any blobs of pink here. 15% chance of wind, 40. Okay, this storm west of Huntsville looks a little bit more interesting, but this is the quieter time of the year for severe weather across the country. Paul liking the live. Thank you, Paul. Franklin went through Irma, and I was in Miami in 2017, and Irma looked like it was going to be the bad one in Miami, and luckily, barely it wasn't. So you were in, where were you in? Oh, St. Martin, is that what that is? Yeah, you were probably down. Yeah, because it went right along here. I don't know why the cursor is not showing up on TikTok, but it went just north of, like the eye, I think just went just north of St. Martin back in 2017. Yeah, that was a bad one. For Cuba, for Key West, for Marco Island. But luckily, here we are on August 20th. The peak of hurricane season starts today. It runs through October 10th. The busiest time of the year, I should say, for hurricane season is now through October 10th. What happened to the hurricane behind Erin? There's nothing. This area might form into Farallon. I can't believe that's the pronunciation, but it's going to curve north even if it does form, and it's not going to be a threat to any land. So after Erin, we're going to be in a bit of a drought. I'm going to pull up some advanced kind of forecasting model data here. This is the European models ensemble prediction. This is like its ensemble. So each L on the map here is a potential area of formation. So there's really not a whole lot of agreement. There's 50 different models here. That's why you see a ton of clustering here with Erin. A lot of agreement, of course, with where Erin's going to go now. Yeah, Franks, yeah. There have been a ton of TikToks out there. I've tried to comment on a bunch of them. Yeah, it's bad this year with those kinds of videos. It's been bad. But anyways, we might get a quick formation with Farallon. I doubt it. And then there's a whole lot of nothing. The last week of August here looks dead across much of the Atlantic. Like not a single ensemble member has anything forming in the Atlantic. That is crazy for late August. And that's really good. I mean, we don't want anything busy. If we can get through Labor Day with no new hurricane development at all, I mean, this even goes through the first week of September and not a whole lot going on here. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me with what the MJO is doing right now. If you know meteorology, you know the MJO. I mean, I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds on some of the advanced forecasting, some of the advanced stuff at play here, the advanced meteorology subseasonal forecasting here, but I'll tell you what, this is as good as a look as you want for a quiet next week or two after Erin. But there is Erin still cranking away. Let's go back to our cameras here, see if we're seeing anything new on both the YouTube and the TikTok. The Buxton camera probably showing the most inundation right now, but even at the Hatteras Inlet, seeing some water move inland as well. Last winter was the same, people saying DC. Yeah, last winter, we got about 6 inches of snow here in Raleigh, but I get some water, but nothing too crazy. I mean, people post those videos all the time. Every severe weather season, actually it doesn't happen as much during severe weather season. Tropical weather season it's really bad during winter weather, and it's really bad during tropical weather. Folks wanting to post like, ooh, look at what this model says. We're all gonna die. Like, no. Let me, I need to expand this to the, there we go. I gotta fix that on the TikTok a little bit. Yeah, people like, it's just for clicks. I mean, we know how it goes. I mean, people post stuff for clicks because they think they make money off of it, or they like seeing the numbers that their videos do. Some of it comes to fruition. The vast minority of it comes to fruition. Watching this band, we're going to see if it can make its way to shore. There was one band earlier that went through New Bern, went through Jacksonville, almost made it to Greenville. There's even a few spotty showers along I-95 there. That's in Nash County, North Carolina. But yeah, the good news is that there is a vast amount of agreement in the model guidance in the long term, like next week or two model guidance. We can know trends. Like we knew even a week before, really 2 weeks ago now, that we were going to have a potential threat to the East Coast with a hurricane. It didn't happen by only a couple hundred miles, which 2 weeks out is pretty good. But now there's a very good agreement in the models that we are going to be in a very quiet stretch the next couple of weeks, at least through the first week of September, and maybe even after that, maybe even into the second week of September. After that, things will wake up. I mean, it can't stay quiet forever. This happened last year. Late August, early to mid-September was quiet, and then things went bananas. We had Helene, we had Milton, we had... there's another one in there that I'm forgetting. I mean, things went crazy between late September, mid to late September last year, and late October into the first week of November last year. So, Dominican Republic, most parts always lucky. Well, there's a lot of mountains in Hispaniola. Hispaniola is the DR and Haiti combined. That's what they call this area of land. There's a ton of mountains. You can actually see it on this version of the satellite. Look at all these, like the topographic map here. Hurricanes hate land. They really hate mountains. Mountains really tear hurricanes apart. So that could be part of the reason, but also it's a little bit of luck too, I would say. Lots of lightning there in Haiti right now. We don't have I don't even know if there is a radar in Haiti. It's 91 in Port-au-Prince. Helene last year was really bad. Yeah, that was September 27th when it made landfall. Went right through Georgia, went right through South Carolina, went right through North Carolina. Will Florida get hit? I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, you could ask Kalshi. By the way, this is crazy that you can bet on this. I'll pull this up on the YouTube here in a second. But if you go to Kalshi, you go to climate. You can bet on whether a hurricane will make landfall in the month of August. There is a bet in here on whether Florida will get hit. Yeah, here it is. Will a hurricane make landfall in Florida during the 2025 hurricane season? Look at that. That's crazy. You can bet on this right now. I'm pretty sure in every state you can bet on this. I'm not advising it. I don't think you should. But according to Kalshi, according to the numbers, 63% chance that a hurricane will make landfall in Florida. And the chance looks like it's been steadily increasing. Wow, yeah. Anyways, there's your daily Kalshi. And then the algorithm goes down. We get 8 viewers lost after that. So I get it. We don't want to talk about gambling. I get it. I just wanted to quantitatively answer Frank's question, Jay Frank's question, with some data that you can bet on right now if you wanted to. Meanwhile, back to Erin. This could have been bad. I mean, if this takes a different course, if it goes northwest, if it goes towards the coast instead of to the northeast, you've got problems. I mean, this is a Category 2, Category 3 hurricane making landfall in the Carolinas, which hasn't happened since Florence back in 2018. I think that was 7 years ago, was Florence? Yeah. Let's go back to our cameras, because this is really our best resource right now. Maybe next time for this, I'll drive out to the coast. Since I'm in Raleigh, I'll just drive out there and take a look. And we can definitely go live on TikTok. That's easy. Going live on YouTube might be a little tougher, but it wouldn't be that difficult. Some inundation there in Buxton, top left corner of the screen. There was a tractor out there earlier as in like 5 to 10 minutes ago, that was moving dirt back and forth, or not dirt, sand, to stop some of the inundation. The inlet looks fine. The Hatteras Inlet, at least the north dock, looks fine. The south dock, you got some things washing ashore there. And then the North Hatteras Village, that camera was pointed a different way this morning when I pulled it. I don't know why it's looking that way now. I mean, you can see where oh wait, there was a road there. There was a road there that's now washed out. That's why it looks like that, because there was a road there and now it's gone. I don't know if I can pull an image from earlier this morning, but yeah, that's why. That's why we can't see that, is because where there was, can I draw on this? Buxton always floods, yeah. Yes, but I mean, it's way out there. That's like right before, that camera's like right, I think that camera's looking southbound. Yeah, it's looking south, right on the curve there in Buxton. Like, you're coming into town where that camera is coming in, yeah. Did it change course? No, it's been, the forecast has really been locked in for the past few days. We have known since, what is today, Wednesday? We've known since probably Saturday that it was going to shoot the gap between the U.S., between North Carolina and Bermuda. North Carolina in the top left corner of the screen, and then Bermuda, you can't even see it, it's so far east. We'll go back to our map here, at least the flash radar map. So I'll do some drawing here. Bermuda's way out there. You can't even see it on the TikTok. It's way out there. There's the coast of North Carolina. The eye of the hurricane is about right there, because there's some lightning in the outer eye wall. This eye wall goes around the system like this. So the eye is right there, and it's peeling off to the northeast. I'm a terrible drawer. Kivo with the follow. Thank you, Kivo. So, yeah, you can't really ask for a hurricane for a major Category 5, what once was a Category 5 hurricane. Erin was a Cat 5 for about 12 hours, I want to say, and it didn't make landfall anywhere. Not in the Caribbean. Let me like draw the path of Erin. Let's draw it out here. I'm going to zoom way out. So it went from Africa as a wave across the Cape Verde Islands. It killed 7 people in Cape Verde. That's where the impacts were the worst. And then it peeled north of the Leeward Islands, northeast of the Bahamas, and now it's right here. There's the track of Erin. Missing the East Coast, missing the Caribbean, missing the Leeward Islands, missing everything. And now if we extrapolate this forward, it's going to keep turning to the northeast and eventually head up to, maybe it could be impact Europe. Let's look. I'm actually curious. Let's get this illustration out of here. Is Erin going to hit Europe? There's a question. So there it is right there. Yeah, it is. Like early part of next week. Look at that. That's crazy. It'll hit like, what is it? I don't know my Europe geography at all. Is that Ireland? By next Monday, Tuesday? You can't see west of Puerto Rico? What about now? Well, you could see enough. Amber with the follow. Thank you, Amber. So here's Erin now. And then it's going to go northeast, still not hit anything. And then eventually hit, I honestly don't know what that is. Is it the UK? Cinders sharing the live. Thank you, Cinders. Yeah, so this could cause more problems for Europe next week than, well, no, it's north of Portugal because, well, Portugal's way down here in the bottom left. That's Portugal, that's Spain, that's France. I think this is the UK here. I think that's Ireland. So let's pack Ireland next week. Meanwhile, across the rest of the Atlantic Basin, I'll take this out through next week. There's not a single wave that gets going in the next week. I don't think we're going to see any tropical development. Gordon and Frank sharing the live. Thank you both. Maybe a few showers in Virginia Beach, Jared, but nothing more than that. I don't think we see anything tropical development with a threat to land after Erin, and even Erin wasn't a threat to the land. We're not going to see anything. We might see a quick developing Pharaoh right here this weekend. Could bring some disturbing, some rain, maybe some storms to Bermuda. But other than that, through the end of the month, this is August 31st. This is a week from Sunday. We're looking good. What I actually do want to do, I want to show you this coming week. Watch the cooler weather settle in this coming week. Let's go day by day here. Here comes the cooler air from Canada. This is next Sunday into Monday. This is departure from normal. I hate normal. Departure from average. Look at that. Next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, temperatures 5 to 15 degrees below average anywhere east of the Rockies. Look at that. That's crazy. I mean, highs in New York next week. What do you think? In the 60s, maybe? Yeah, highs next week in the low 70s in upstate New York. Wow. Why do hurricanes only form during late summer and fall? Because the water's not warm enough until late summer and fall. It's not warm enough. How about North Carolina? What's the temperatures going to be here next week? 85, 87, 80 for a high. The average high this time of the year here is 90. Wow. Wow. After the summer, bring it on. Ain't that the truth? Stay safe. Stay safe. I'll tell you what. I mean, I'll even go to this. Well, I don't have to go to this. I can just go to our feed here. I'm going to show you the severe risk areas today. This is one of the quietest times. This is one of the quietest next week to 10 days we've had in a long time. This is the severe risk today. A 1 out of 5 across the south and across Montana and North Dakota. Tomorrow, 1 out of 5 risk across the far northern plains, and then Friday, 1 out of 5. So no slight risk, no 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, anything the next 3 days. So hello, Embrick. Welcome to the stream on the TikTok, Embrick. How are you, sir? Average high in northern North Carolina around 85 next week. Okay, well, yeah. In Raleigh, the average high next week is 89. Sherry with the follow. Thank you, Sherry. What's going on in Phoenix? What is going on in Phoenix? Like temperature-wise, hot. I think I'm not going to create a location here, but I mean, it's going to be hot in Phoenix. But it looks like it's going to get cooler. Hotter tomorrow. Are you in Phoenix, Allie? Oh, it's raining there right now? The worst monsoon ever? Oh, it's raining to your east there. Oh, okay, this is moving into Phoenix. Yeah, sure. This batch of rain is going to move into Phoenix over the next probably hour or two. Oh, no monsoons? I'll try to fix that. Luckily, it looks like there is rain moving in. Let's show you our Flashcast future radar. Picks it up real nicely now. Oh my God, it falls apart. It looks like it's not going to make it there. Oh no. Oh no. That's kind of depressing. Story of our lives, yeah. What about later this week? How about our Flashcast future extended radar? How about tomorrow? Same area, same north and northeast. How about Friday? No. Saturday? Probably not. Sunday? No. Hey, how about this? How about next, what is this, the 26th? Next Tuesday morning. Next Monday night. Next chance for rain there in Phoenix. Oh boy. Let's show you the evolution of Erin here real quick on our Flashcast extended. Well, this is at 2 a.m., Allie. So hopefully you set your alarm for next Tuesday at 2 a.m. And we'll get the rain your way. Portugal needs rain because of the fire. Okay, well, there's Portugal. Let me zoom it out for you on the TikTok. Portugal is right there. I don't know why let me know. Yeah, please. Thank you for the follow. Portugal is right here. There's Erin right here. So Portugal there, Erin there. Portugal will get some rain this weekend, it looks like. But Erin, what's left of Erin, yeah, it's going to head towards Ireland, towards Dublin, Ireland. It'll be really windy there on Tuesday. Wow. Yeah, it's going to get real windy up there in Ireland on Tuesday. Chucky B in the house. Chucky B in the house. Got about 50 of us on the TikTok. Not bad. Yeah, I hope it gets rain too. It looks like Portugal, if Portugal does need rain, it'll come, what is that? Saturday night? Yeah, Saturday night's when it would come into Portugal. Saturday night. Any winter outlook yet? Oh boy, you want to know about winter weather already. Let's get through hurricane season first, and then we'll talk about winter weather. Are you playing golf in Ireland on Tuesday, Embrick? Please tell me you're not. 99L is going to C. User 740-2358-447487. Going to C. Not an issue. Erin took so long to get out of here, it clogged the traffic and is making 99L go to C. So good news there. I don't think we're going to get anything in the tropics for the next 10 days. I would almost take that to the bank. Through Labor Day weekend, nothing in the tropics. I would take that to the bank. How does New England look? Well, where in New England are you, Sherry? And when? You mean like now in Boston? Do you mean next week in Rhode Island? Talk to me. Back to the pier on the YouTube. A couple more fishermen out there. 10 days. Sherry wants to know 10 days from now. Oh boy. All right, I'll see what I can do. Salem, New Hampshire. Is that near Manchester? I don't know oh yeah, it's right on the border. Is that where the Salem witch trials were? I think that was, right? 10 days from now. Looks dry 10 days from now. Looks good. Salem's in Massachusetts? Oh. I see Manchester. I don't know my New Hampshire geography. But anyways, across New Hampshire in 10 days, it looks dry. But that's 10 days out. That can change. That can change. We'll be here for you if you want to know, though. Here in Bermuda, it looks calm until now. Yeah, the winds will pick up, Island Girl. The winds will. What is it like living in Bermuda? I've always wanted to know that. Is it fun? Like, can you just go to the beach all the time? Is it like living in Hawaii? I feel like that'd be fun. Their witches are in Salem, Mass. Need us to send some there's a brush fire in South Florida? A brush fire in South Florida, you say? Yeah, it's raining north of Bimini down there right now, but that's it. That is it in the South Florida realm of things. It's raining all up in New England right now, in the tri-state. I mean, it's raining in Manhattan, it's raining in New Haven. It's actually not raining in New Haven. That's one place it's not raining. It's raining in Waterbury, raining in Hartford, Providence, all of Rhode Island seeing rain, and then even up into Massachusetts. It's 59 in Boston right now. Wow. It's a little chilly. 21,000 acres burning. Wow. I think I did see something on Twitter about that. About the brush fires. Isn't there one near Lauderdale too? Up in Broward? It's very nice. Nice beaches, food. Crystal Caves is a must. Ooh, there are caves? That sounds fun. Caves in Bermuda. Sign me up. I'm in. What are those like? Those sound fun. There are caves. That sounds scary. Up to almost 4,000 likes. You guys are doing pretty good today on the like category. Feels like California now in Fort Lauderdale. Wow. Wow. What should we show you here? What do we want to see? Cameras. The problem with the radar is the eye of the storm is well offshore. You can't even see the eye. The eye is down here. The eye wall is right here. And it's moving northeast. You've got some outer rain bands that are trying to move on shore, but they've kind of struggled to do so in the past hour or two. We had one earlier push on in Had one earlier, a couple hours ago, but it's fallen apart. It's kind of, I wonder what the dew point here is in Raleigh. That might explain it. What is the dew point? It's 71. If the dew point's 71, it's not dry air. Yeah, look at the dew points near the coast in the mid 70s. Yeah, that's the hurricane having an impact on the humidity, that's for sure. Visibility. Nice. What should we show you? I don't. Going back to the cameras is not doing well. Every time I go back to the cameras on the TikTok, the view count drops. So we're not going to do that on the TikTok. We'll do it on the YouTube, though. Blue Hole. Is that the name of the... Is that a cave name, Island Girl, or what is that? I want to go to Bermuda. There's a direct flight from Raleigh to... There's a direct flight from Raleigh to Bermuda, and I really want to go on it. I want to go to Bermuda really bad. How many fishing poles do we have on the YouTube? It's 1, 2, 3? Looks windy out there. That's for sure. This guy's looking around. That's funny. I'm going to add my picture to this scene, actually. Video capture device. Whoa, that's too big. There we go. That's better. It's a trial and it has caves. I'm in. I'll be there. Sounds fun to me. I kind of wish I thought about going to the Outer Banks. I thought about it. Should have gone. If I could walk, I would have. My scooter's over there. Don't tear your Achilles, kids. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. There's like a pound you can swim. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm going to be honest. Is the hurricane going to do damage to Raleigh? No. Negative Ghost Rider. Hello, Caitlin First. How's the app treating you? If you haven't downloaded the Flash Weather app, you need to download it. Just search Flash Weather app. Just search Flash Weather in the App Store. Lightning prediction, heat prediction, hail prediction coming very soon, and something much bigger coming after that. Caitlin First loves Flash Weather. There's your testimonial. Can we bring Caitlin First onto the live? Can we bring her onto the live potentially? Would you like to? She's cooking. What a shame. Well, that's a great dual stream. We can show you cooking and show me tracking the weather. That works perfectly. I don't know who would say no to that. Come on. Whatever. I could watch this camera on the YouTube all day long. We are going to... No, you don't. Come on. Highway 12 closed 45 minutes ago from Pea Island to Hatteras. Yeah. I thought, was it not already closed? Oh yeah, I see it, yeah. Well, it's this camera, I'll show you it on the TikTok. It's that one, I'll show it on the YouTube too. You can see it in the top right in North Hatteras Village. That camera is in, which camera are we looking at here? Yeah, that camera is on the road and the road's washed, like you can't see the road in the top right there. Where the water is, like to the right of the sand, there's supposed to be a road there and there is not a road there. So yeah, it's closed. We've seen that, yeah. Caitlin, you were born to be on camera, but whatever, man. Yeah, so there is normally a road. Can I draw on this? I don't think I can. Sand dip with the follow. Thank you, sand dip. And that, on that north, I don't want to move it around. Sorry. I'm going to blow it up real quick. I can do that. Right here, that's normally that's a road right in the middle there. How often do you use the Flash app, Caitlin? There's no hurricane coming after Erin. That is the good news. We talked about it, yeah. There could be a system that forms, but it's going to get head to sea. She uses it every day. Now, there's a testimonial, folks. There is a testimonial. I love it. I love it. I love looking at satellite. Hurricanes are just so interesting. So interesting. The most powerful engine on the planet is a hurricane. Because a hurricane is basically a steam engine or a heat engine, whatever you want to call it. It takes the heat from the ocean, converts it into strength. That's the short way. Is Bermuda going to be impacted? Nah, not really. We had somebody in here from Bermuda. I don't know if she's still here. Island Girl. Is Island Girl still here? If she is, maybe she can talk about it. There's going to be worse impacts in the Outer Banks than... there she is. She's here. What are you seeing in Bermuda? Anything? I doubt you're seeing much. I haven't, Caitlin. I need to watch it. Is it... There's one coming out on Netflix, I thought. I thought there was a Katrina documentary on Netflix. Until now, nope, so nothing. So, yeah, I think Bermuda's not going to see much out of this at all. Very little. I thought it was a Netflix doc. Hurricane Katrina documentary. Oh, it is Hulu. It's 5 episodes? Wow. But there's also, because this year's the 20th anniversary of Katrina. I think there's here's the Netflix one right here too. So I guess they both made series. That's crazy. There's a Netflix one. Yeah, it didn't come out yet. Yeah, it's August 27th. So it's a week from today. I need to watch that. That's going to be a good one. That is going to be a good one. I didn't know he was from Bermuda, Caitlin. The more you know. I did not know that. Bermuda. I want to go to Bermuda. At the Jersey Shore, we were starting to see the storm coming. That would be a different storm, I think. Like, are you like Atlantic City? Are you down here? Or where are you? Are you up? I think the Jersey Shore's what? Ocean City? Yeah, you're not seeing the hurricane. You're seeing just other stuff. No hurricane problems for the Northeast. That's the good news. We've got more fishermen out on the Avalon Pier in Kill Devil Hills. You can see it on the YouTube. The chances of snow in Miami this year. Zip, zilch, nada. It did snow in Miami in the 70s. 1977, it snowed. Look at that. There it is. January 6th, no, I thought it was 19th. There will never be snow in Miami again, ever. No way. That'd be cool. Snow divas, yeah. It snowed in like Tallahassee this year. It snowed up here in the northern part of the state, but it never, I don't know, it'll never snow in like Tampa again, let alone Miami. Well, this has been a pretty good test stream so far. I'm not sure how long we're going to stay on. We don't have a whole lot to talk about, honestly. You've never seen snow in your life. Yeah, you got to change that. What's the winter looking like for North Carolina? It's a tough question. I think we're going to see snow again. I mean, I'm in Raleigh. I think we'll probably get snow again. How much? I don't know. Yeah, there's no snow in no snow in Bermuda. What am I going to be for Halloween? Well, it's funny you asked that. I'm going to be Aaron Rodgers because in the third game of the year last year, he tore his Achilles. The third play of the year. I know, Kyle. We had snow 3 times this year. I live here. He tore his Achilles 3 plays into the season in 2023. So I'm going to carry an American flag, wear the boot, and wear his jersey. Because I tore my Achilles playing football 3 weeks ago. So, can you show the class your Game of Thrones? Oh boy, I actually was just looking through those clips today. It's so funny you asked that. Let me throw something else on the screen while I look for this. You think I look like who? Aaron Rodgers? You're crazy. You're crazy if you think I look like Aaron Rodgers. No way. Hold on, I need to go to Instagram. Or do you mean Joffrey Baratheon when I was Joffrey? King Joffrey? King Joffrey. The Game of Thrones guy? Yeah, King Joffrey. Let me scroll down here. I almost got it. I almost have it. Oh, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Oh, boy. Here we go. There it is. Oh, boy. If you're on the YouTube, I'm not showing this. I am not showing. You know, whatever. There you go. There you go. Back to the weather. Oops, that's not the weather. That's the weather. All right. Back to the cams. Back to the cameras. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you. Now I feel thoroughly embarrassed, and now I'm probably going to stop the stream after this, because now I am thoroughly embarrassed. Yeah, that's great. Yep. What a great way to end the stream, huh? Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. Thanks, Caitlin. Yeah. You're too kind. All right, I think we're going to cut it here. There's going to be, how many hurricanes? Ooh, yeah, it's a good question to end on. How many hurricanes will happen this year? Well, this was the first one. Erin was the first one. I'm going to go 5 or 6. Because I don't think there's going to be anything through Labor Day weekend. There's going to be nothing for the next 10 days, which is good. I mean, good. We're going to have nothing to close out the month of August. So that's the question of what happens in September and October. Hello, Samantha on the YouTube. I think we get at least 4 more. At least 4 more. I'd be stunned if we don't get 4 more. Now, do they hit land? I mean, that's the million-dollar question is do they hit land or not? I mean, if we get out of this year with no land, if you get out of any hurricane season with no landfalls, that's a win. That's an automatic win. If you get out of hurricane season with no U.S. landfalls. Well, I think do I think there's going to be one? Yeah. Whether it's Florida, whether it's the Carolinas, whether it's the Gulf, who knows? I'm going to go 6 total hurricanes and 2 more majors. That's what I'll go with. And 1, maybe 2 landfalls in the U.S. But it's impossible to predict where those are going to be. The long range, the pattern this year is the East Coast. We've seen that with Erin. The pattern is something to hit the East Coast. Will that happen? We'll see. We'll see. The East Coast is due. Not necessarily for a major hurricane, but for at least a Cat 1 or Cat 2. So we'll see. The eye of Hurricane Erin, let's draw it. It's right here, and you've got the eye wall there with all the lightning. There it is. Hurricane Sandy was bad. Yeah, Hurricane Sandy was really bad. Sandy was 2012, 13 years ago. And what's funny is that, well, not funny, but what's ironic is that Hurricane Sandy, when it made landfall, was not a hurricane. It's called Superstorm Sandy by a lot of folks because it was not a hurricane when it made landfall. But the way that it did make landfall, I'll kind of draw it here. So Sandy came up the coast and stopped here and then just took a left turn straight into Jersey. So that pushed all this water into Jersey, into Long Island, into New York. It just pushed a ton of water from east to west into Jersey, into Manhattan, into the Long Island. It's about as worst case as you can get when a storm goes like that and then pushes all the water towards the Jersey coast or towards wherever. Jersey, New York, Long Island. I'll show you the official path of it. Florence was similar, yeah. I would argue Sandy was worse because of mainly where it hit. There's the path. You can see the left turn. It gets all the way up here. It gets to kind of where Erin is, east of the Outer Banks, literally a pretty similar path to where it is now, between the Outer Banks here and Bermuda there. It gets up here and just takes a left turn right into Jersey right there. And then it pushes all the water inland on the north side of the storm. On the south side of the storm, you're getting the opposite effect. Hurricanes spin counterclockwise like this. So you get all the water to push in on this side, and then the water pushes out on the south side. Kind of interesting how hurricanes work like that. But yeah, Sandy was not good. Not good at all. And we've had bad storms each of the last few years. Not just here, anywhere. You're talking Milton, Florida last year, Helene in North Carolina last year, Ian near Tampa in 22, Adalia, Dorian hit the Bahamas in 19. Miami has not gotten hit with a really bad one, Kate, since Ian hit Fort Myers. Ian hit Fort Myers down here. It looked like Ian was going to hit Tampa. It looked like Tampa's time was going to run out, and that Ian was going to be the one for Tampa. But Miami's last major hit was Hurricane Andrew back in 1992, 33 years ago. It got hit hard by Wilma in 2005. Irma in 2017, my freshman year, hit Miami. Irma was pretty bad. We got sent home from school for like 3 weeks. The whole semester calendar got screwed up. Irma was bad. And then Dorian thrashed the Bahamas. It destroyed Marsh Harbor, the northeastern Bahamas, back in 2019. Matthew, Cat 5, hit the Florida Panhandle back in 2018. Hit Panama City really hard. Dorian was your freshman year. 2019. Miami's time is running out. I mean, we say that every year. Houston got hit last year by Beryl. Houston, of course, got hit really bad by Harvey in 2017. And then Florence. Florence was the last bad one in the Carolinas. It was the coastal Carolinas. Helene was bad, obviously, in western North Carolina and the South Carolina, towards western South Carolina last year. But for coastal Carolinas, the last bad one was Dorian in 19. All righty. I'm watching. I want to pull back up these cameras one more time. It's getting worse there in Buxton. I mean, that's for sure. And the water is over top of the North Hatteras Village Road, or NC-12 in North Hatteras Village. But you can see the water starting to get into Buxton there in the top left-hand corner of the screen. How about the Avalon Pier on the YouTube? Yeah, Fran was the last really bad wind one in North Carolina. Yeah, Gordon, 96. Then Floyd was the bad water one that brought President Clinton to Tarboro at the time. Clinton delivered like a state of address in Tarboro in 1999 after Hurricane Floyd. Look at the wind there on the YouTube. Wow. I agree, Island Girl, I agree. Has there ever been one named Caitlin? That's actually a really good question. I don't know. The name Caitlin has never been used for any real-world hurricanes or tropical storms in the Atlantic or Pacific basins. While the name Caitlin with a C and with an L-I-N at the end has been used for 2 tropical cyclones in the western Pacific, Caitlin, how you spell your name, is not among the names on the official lists. There was a Hurricane David back in like the late 50s that was really bad, and that name got retired, so we'll never get a Hurricane David again. We will never get a Hurricane David again. All right, I think we're going to call it a wrap there. I think we've shown the stream works, which is good. And if this was a major problem for the Carolinas, we would stay on. But only a couple feet of storm surge expected along the Outer Banks and some gusty winds. I mean, we'll see wind gusts here in Raleigh tomorrow up to 30 miles an hour. But that's about it. I'll be back soon. Not too soon, Kate. Go follow flashweather.ai because that's where these streams are not going to be on my page for much longer. Once we get Flash's page to 1,000 on the TikTok, these streams will be coming from the Flash TikTok page, not mine. I'll still be reposting and probably posting some different kind of stuff on my page. But the Flash TikTok is where you can find a lot of stuff. Sheila with the follow. Gordon, thank you, sir. Thanks for being here. It's kind of ironic we have the most views on YouTube of the whole stream. We have almost 20 viewers on the YouTube. That's the most we've ever had. But the TikTok is doing terribly. So we're going to end the TikTok. We might keep the YouTube up for a little bit longer. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to Flash, and we'll make it happen. All right. We're ending the TikTok. And Erin, out to sea. Not have any chatters here on the YouTube. We had Samantha earlier. Do we have bot viewers on the YouTube, dare I ask? We have bot viewers? I hope not. I don't have bot viewers. All right, TikTok's gone. Stop that. And, ooh, that's the wrong graphic. Yeah, luckily, Erin not going to be that bad at all. A couple of feet of surge. Let's go back to the pier cam. I mean, this is fun to watch. Like, I mean, I could just leave this up. I could take my face out of here and just leave this up. You know what I could do? I could do this and just leave this up for a bit. I do need some water. Going back and forth between the cameras. Unfortunately, these do not auto-update, but... Well, they do auto-update, but it's not like a live feed. They're pictures that update every couple of minutes. Yeah, it's really bad in Buxton. NC-12 has washed away there in Hatteras Village. NC-12 now closed along the coast there. There's the ferry. There's the ferry port. The Etheridge Bridge is further north. That actually looks fine for now, which is good. Let's see here. Has there ever been a Hurricane Allison? Ooh, Allison Beckman with a good question there on the YouTube. Has there been a Hurricane Allison? I don't know. Oh, there was a hurricane. There's a different Allison with an I. There was a Hurricane Allison with an I, yes. Yeah, you can see it here. This was a very rare storm this was a tropical storm. And it parked over Houston and caused a bunch of damage, and it was retired. The name was retired, and it wasn't even a hurricane because it killed, 55 people, caused $8 billion in damage. That's in 2001 money. Yeah, this was the bad one in Houston back in 2001. And again, it wasn't even a hurricane. It was a tropical storm. So they can't use Allison with a Y after retiring Allison with an I. But yeah, that goes to show a tropical storm can cause just as many impacts and cause as many problems as a hurricane. Bummer? Yeah. Yeah. Bummer is right. I wouldn't want to kill 55 people either. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, they already took your name and kind of misspelled it, I guess you could say. It's not bad. No, thank you, Allison. Thank you for asking the question. It's a good question. It's a very good question. I wonder how the quality looks on YouTube. Does the quality look good? I'm in the wrong window. 20 viewers. Wow, there's too many people in here. You guys are going to make me scared. No, just kidding. Yeah, there's Erin. The eye is starting to fill in there, kind of. That means it's starting to weaken. Two areas we're watching behind it, but neither are cause for concern. They're going to peel off to sea. I think we're done. I think hurricane season, we're not done, but hurricane season's taking about a 2-week sabbatical. We're not going to get anything through Labor Day weekend. So what is that through? September 1st? Yeah. Good news. Hurricane season on a pause, and then severe weather season this time of the year always takes a bit of a pause. And how about this next week? I showed this about 45 minutes ago. It is going to be cool next week. This is next week's 7-day temperature anomaly, like difference from average. Look at all of the blue here on the map. Kansas, Oklahoma, the Midwest, the upper Midwest, the Northeast, the Carolinas, all the way down to Florida. Everybody except the Pacific Northwest is going to be cooler than average. So what kind of dew points, how much humidity are we talking? Wow. Wow. I mean, this is incredibly comfortable air for late August. Green is humid, anything green. So the humidity is staying basically here. If you live anywhere north of that line, next week is going to be really comfortable. That goes all the way down to the Florida Panhandle almost. Chicago is going to feel like fall next week. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Oh yeah, we were talking about the names for this year's hurricane season earlier. The next name is not Fernand. It's Fernan. Don't shoot the messenger. Gabrielle, easy. Umberto. Imelda. Jerry. Okay, Jerry's easy. And then the internet's going to break if we get a Hurricane Erin to make landfall in the U.S. I'm taking the week off of the internet. I'm just going to take a week off. I'm done. I'm good. I'm very, very good on that, actually. Meanwhile, back at the coast, we got a few cars there in Buxton. What are they moving? Are they moving sand? I don't know. They're doing something out there. Look at that camera. Wow. What do they do to that camera in the South Dock? Alrighty. I think we might call it there. Good test stream today. Good test of our capabilities when we do have a more, what do you want to call it? Pertinent threat, a higher threat. to our coastline, but there's really only so much we can show. As these bands are really struggling to even get to the Outer Banks. The wind is pushing the water on shore, but these bands they just can't get there. We'll see if that changes overnight, but I doubt it. One last look at the Avalon Pier, folks out there. The waves are these are pretty substantial waves out there, but it's nothing they can't handle. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. They can handle that. 2 to 4 feet. Storm surge really not that bad for them. It's going to shut down the roads, and they forced evacuations, as they should. But NC-12 washed away there in Hatteras Village. Not washed away, just covered by water. And then back to the pier. It's windy. Look at that. Wow. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. We're going to keep an eye on things, as we mentioned, the next 10 to 14 days in the tropics. Look quiet. Hopefully it stays that way. If any severe weather happens, we'll let you know that too. But typically August, September, October, even November are quiet months of the year for severe weather. It's all hurricane season, but we'll keep an eye on it. Flash weather, the future in severe weather prediction.